Welcome, tribe and potential tribe members. Welcome to the community. I love you guys. This is going to be a cliffhanger, y'all. I know it's been a minute since we did a cliffhanger, but I guess that's a good way to open it up, right? Let's start there. When it comes to procrastination, and I'm going to use myself as an example for a lot of this because, for one, we don't have no cards here. So I'm not necessarily going into y'all energy. I'm just, you know, divinely guided to speak the words that are going to come out in this video. Right? So, starting with procrastination. As some of y'all know, like I told y'all before, I like to take a little walk or get out there and be a tree hugger or something before each reading. Really tap into the energies that are beyond me, right? Much wiser vibrations and energies, 1:11 on the clock. And as I was taking my walk, it was like I felt so inspired to come do this video for y'all and do this cliffhanger and talk to y'all. But at first it wasn't a cliffhanger. I wasn't even thinking about cliffhanger. It wasn't until I was on the way back to the house. I thought about it like the divine was like, that's just a form of procrastination. Because I was sitting there like, dang, I got to do my nails before I do the video. But I just want to get this out. And it's like, no, you don't have to do none of that. You got to know your abilities. You got to know yourself and be confident in yourself, okay? I was reminded, you don't need the cards. Genuine, no. You don't need them because one of the blessings within your gifts is that you have the ability to channel. You have the ability to use your wisdom and your intuition. You don't need these cards, right? 2:22 on the clock. Don't procrastinate by saying you have to do this, this, and that, or the visuals, because that's essentially what it is, the visuals. If you have trust and faith in yourself or in your words or listen to your intuition, you don't need visuals to back what's being conveyed. This is why it's so important to have discernment when it comes to these readings, right? Listen, cliffhangers, y'all, we just talking. So, when it comes to the things you want to do in life, you got to remember to stay out your own way. Just because it's a certain way you're used to doing things or it's a certain way people like things, that don't mean that that's the only thing that could be done. If y'all get what I'm saying, like, sometimes when the path ain't straight, you got to find a way to curve it and get there, right? Essentially, y'all remember a while back in the readings when we was talking about y'all are going to begin to find a lot of omens, and that was the word they used specifically. A lot of synchronistic things you're going to begin to come across, but specifically like tangible signs, tangible omens, right? Now, I don't know how many of y'all have been really paying attention, but for me, and the reason I'm talking about this is because for some of you, I really want you guys to think about it. What has been significant? And then what is the meaning of this? Now, what is my own soul's interpretation after finding out more information? Now you bring wisdom into it, right? After you find out the information, you bring wisdom. So when it comes to these omens, I'm going to give you the example, guys. For myself, I literally went from finding a crazy amount of acorns. Listen, acorns in my home. Like random places, right? I went from finding acorns to fortunes. Like the fortunes out the fortune thing, right? I don't know why that's blurry. But anyways, y'all, I want y'all to pay attention to how life is talking to you. Okay? Now, that was just an example for myself, but I want y'all to pay attention to what life has been bringing to you. What it means. When we say find out the information and then pair it with wisdom to make it unstoppable, right? We mean do your research. When you begin to come across these things, begin to Google it. We know how suspect Google is, but this is the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Find out the knowledge portion of it. Look it up. Do some research. What is the typical vibrations associated with these things? Because when it comes to logic, it doesn't have to be right or wrong. Because from the perspective of the collective, whatever the collective thinks about whatever the fuck it is, then that's what it is, right? 5:55 on the clock, then that's what it is, because the collective forms the strongest vibration. So it's like, when it comes to the logic part of it, look it up from that perspective. Okay, what is the definition of this thing? What is the collective opinion of what this synchronicity means? Because ultimately that is a part of the vibration that's creating it, that's backing it, right? So you need to be informed on that aspect of it. It's not always about what's within yourself, right? Now, this is where we bring wisdom into it. This can be applied to all areas of your life. This is where you bring wisdom into it. Now, when you accompany logic and intelligence, reason, with wisdom, your intuition. What is the divine telling you about this? What resonates with you on a soul level? What can you use from this information to be like a breadcrumb to the wisdom that's trying to be pushed forward? It's not about the general perspective, right? That's just the collective vibrational aspect of whatever it is you're aligning to, whatever it is you're creating, whatever you're being sent these signs and synchronicities about, right? Now, when you pair what we already, or the collective think they know, right? We'll just say no, because again, the vibration is stronger based on the collective's viewpoint of something. So when we look at this, okay, what does the collective viewpoint, what is the vibration of the collective? Okay, you know that. Now, how does my soul resonate with this? Now you know that. Now, when you pair these things, this is how you begin to create your plan, your vision on how to get to different upgrades, right? Different levels of success, different directions in life, right? When it comes to life, you got to remember, you have to factor in the logical aspect of it. It's not just a spiritual walk. Why? Because we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. When we say having, that's possessing, right? When you're possessing when you're possessing something, especially like life, and we know there's no such thing as things. So when you're possessing, what the fuck? When you possess life, right? Let me get my life together real quick. Hold on, y'all. Cliffhangers, y'all gotta understand with the cliffhangers, it's kind of, I'm still mastering it, right? When I open myself up to cliffhangers, it's essentially like telling the divine, okay, bring in a lot of information, we finna spill it out. So I have to control, it's like 15 things getting plugged in at once and trying to figure out, okay, where's the power gonna go first, right? A lot of things look or seem easier than it is, but this is why I prefer genuine readers. Readers that's more into the energy rather than the card meaning, right? Because if you just telling me the card meaning, your ass all in logic. Where's your fucking wisdom? Where's your intuition? What's the divine message rather than the card's message? People like the cards never lie. No, the divine never lies. The cards will lie to your ass. Because if you believing in the cards, you don't know where the fuck that energy coming from through about them cards. It's like a doorway, right? Each card is like a fucking doorway. And if you ain't coming from the divine, who is coming through the doorway of your cards? Be fucking mindful, right? It's something very significant about that, y'all. Be very mindful of the kind of readers you're listening to. what kind of energy they read for you, past, present, future, right? Be mindful. This is so important, it feels like, because your thoughts are your own. Your actions are your own. 10:10 on the clock. But when you're investing in readers, especially the wrong readers, it's essentially like your thoughts no longer being your own, especially when it's obsessive or repetitive, right? As creatures of the vessel, we learn by repetition, right? The soul is all about growth, difference, change, but the vessel is all about the same. Logic, wisdom. Wisdom, the unknown. Logic, the known, right? Until further disproved or proved deeper. Long story short, don't take shit on the world from the worldly perspective on a soulful level. Take it at face value, do your research, pair it with your own intuition, your own backing by the divine. If you don't get the checklist from the divine, throw that shit out the window. Period. 11:11 on the clock. It's not just 2020, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all, just like I've been telling everybody that know me, it's for 2020. We ain't talking about just April, okay? Because a lot of fools come out in April. But listen, we talking about for 2020, like emperor shit, all 2020. Not only that, but I don't know about y'all, but some of us like to get lifted and get connected. So it's a little bit like 420, hey. But listen, Cliffhanger, we just talking, okay? Back to what I was supposed to be starting with, now that we almost 12 minutes in. The fortune that I just found earlier pertains directly to a thought I had in my mind, and it was almost like they was reeling the thought back in, like I almost lost it, like, no, it's important. So the fortune says, success is a journey, not a destination. Let me tell y'all again, hold on. Success is a journey, not a destination. Listen, you never stop succeeding. If you stop succeeding, what the fuck is that? We have to break ourselves out of the confines of 1, 2, 3, 4 was just on the clock. They don't play. We have to break ourselves out of the confines of routine. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4 was just on the clock. We have to stop thinking and begin to feel more. To live is to feel, not to think. You don't know you're alive just because you're thinking. Consciousness exists with or without the body. But to feel, you know, energies outside of the body is more so residual in a way. You know, that's why they're so easily tweaked and turned into these, I heard malevolent. We have 13 on the clock. That's why these entities that's left out here with no vessel is easily tweaked into some stupid shit. You know what I mean? They have no structure. Long story short, guys, this is another thing. Cliffhangers, we just talking. You guys, I'm going to say again, when you go into meditation or you get to communicating with the divine, with the universe, whatever have you, because it's all the same. Oh, I just heard it was all a dream. I used to read. Okay, listen. Let me gather my thoughts. Hello, my baby came up here, y'all. I got distracted. Okay, they gave it back. They gave it back to me. You have to be mindful when you go into your meditations or to communicate with the divine, whatever, you know what I mean? It all comes from the same source. It's either distorted into a lower vibration from being in a lower vibration state for too fucking long, twisted perception, right? All things were made through love. No such thing as things, right? Everything is love. So if it's not in a conscious state of love, right? All things have conscious. If it's not in a conscious state of love, then this is what we perceive as a lower vibration. This is what we perceive as a negative entity. Y'all know I don't believe in the devil. Everything was created through love. Nothing was created with evil intent. Therefore, at the core of it, nothing is evil, only distorted, right? Y'all don't have to agree with me, but this is my beliefs. 15:15 on the clock. And I literally seen the second at 5 slow down. So it was 155. But listen. When we begin to truly operate in the vibration of love, the highest vibration of all, understanding that there's no need to define anything outside of the category of love. It's love or it's distorted. Period. The opposite of, because as we know, the opposite of love is fear. Through fear, you could be distorted. Fear is the lowest vibration of all, in my opinion, right? So in comparisons to the highest and the lowest vibration, the yin yang of life, right? It's a lot of souls that get trapped into these lower vibrations, and we begin to call them entities because we feel the need as conscious beings to classify every fucking thing, right? 16:16 on the clock. Tower, boom, boom. Twin Towers, damn. Fuck. Just like that scandal. That shit was a scandal. That was not a fucking terrorist attack. Somebody gonna be mad. Probably some people out there. Fuck it. Shit. My cross that bears the truth. From higher spaces. Imagine that cross. Shit. It ain't nothing in this world that motherfucking fear. Because I understand that when it comes to the path that my soul is meant to walk, I cannot walk with fear unless it's in the process of overcoming it. I know that fear is real. The opposite of love is fear, so fear is absolutely real. But in love, you fear less. Therefore, you fear fucking nothing. Everything you're overcoming at a pace that is beyond you. We don't stop. We don't stand still. Success is success is a journey, not a destination, right? We don't stand still ever. Not in life, not in spirit, and definitely not in the divine aspects of ourselves. How the fuck could our divine aspect of ourselves stand still if it has to constantly tell us about the booby traps ahead? Tell us about the damn haters. Tell us about the this, and that we not even. Listen, as we walking through life, most people is walking through their two eyes. Which means, really, your divine teams is always in a position of having to be more of your bodyguard than your assistants. When you take your team out of bodyguard and into assistant, your life fucking transforms. Period. Because you are now walking, like I tell you, when you exit the wheel of karma and enter the wheel of grace, there's nothing that could stop you. Karma is repetitive. It's a cycle. Just like the human mentality. What? You learn by things that's done repetitively, right? 18:18 on the clock. Breaking that cycle. Leaving the wheel of karma, repetitive, and enter the wheel of grace. Wondrous. Endless possibility. Dropping the I'm on possible altogether. You know how most people say it's not impossible, it's I'm possible. No, fuck it. It's just possible. Possibilities. You don't even have to singular possibilities talking about I'm possible. Shit, we all possible. How many people have to come, how many souls have to come down and walk in the flesh and prove to you that things are fucking possible beyond your perspective? And we still look up to these people as if it's some foreign superhero shit. We are all heroes in our own right, but only if we claim that power. We gotta put the cape on or take the cape off. And when I say that, I had this feeling of, when I say put the cape on, you still trying to be the super save 'em, but as somebody else. You know superheroes don't wear capes no damn more. We don't. Just like we not in hermit energy no more. We took the cape off. We rocking just like, I'm seeing like the Incredibles. It's no cape. You know capes get you sucked up into the fan. So, it's like, Everybody is putting on their authentic suit. We've been talking about that Black Panther energy. We all got the vibranium. I'm telling you. I'm feeling good about this, y'all. I really am. I really am. Oh, that reminds me. Another thing that came through in the meditative walk before this was the energy of, how we channeled before and talked about how life is like a soul school. Y'all know I only heard this song a couple times in my life, but it came through so strong in my head. I was taking my little stroll and all I heard was that song that be like, school's out. I'm not finna sing it, no, because I'm smoking. School's out for summer. School's out for summer, and then after I thought about school's out for summer, and after I got it, right, it was like, oh shit. And then right after I got it, it was like, oh yeah, because we could do what the fuck we want to do. Y'all, if you're flowing and you're just going with life, oh my God, possibilities, possible. Just possible. Not I'm. This is another thing that came through in the meditation the other day. I've been in a very meditative state, y'all. They'll give it back to me. Cliffhangers, right? When it comes to possibilities and what's possible and what's not possible, why do we always feel the need to be the ones to determine what is and what isn't, even in the perspective of anything is possible? Why do we even feel the need to ask these questions? You know what I mean? It's almost like a limiting thought within itself. Interesting. It's just like if anything is possible, why sit there and think about the infinite possibilities that could just waste your time, your life, your energy, and ultimately misalign you, have your thoughts swayed in a direction where, things need to be centered. When you got a direction, that's why it's important to have a goal. That's why it's important to write it the fuck down. Hold your vision. It's like having a map. You got to create a map. It's like if you had a long journey to go, right? Success is a journey, not a destination, right? Say you got a long journey to go. Would you rather be told the directions and then you just off? Now you got to remember the way to get there and back the whole way. Or would you rather create a map? Like, yeah. When I get there, I'll make a left. All right, let me write that down. Trust the process, right? When you got the map, when you got the plan, it makes everything worth it. Sitting there listening to the person. This is like metaphorically speaking. This is like in regards to the different shit you go through in life. All the milestones, all the adversity, all of the heartbreak, the upsets, whatever. It's like, because you're going to run into it irregardless. Just like in traffic. You can't predict accidents. You know what I mean? It makes it all worth it. Metaphorically speaking, like listening to the person tell you the directions, taking the time to write it out, getting the vision together in terms of, okay, so you got to go up this amount of blocks, let's draw it out here, right? Literally creating the map. This is what I'm seeing in my mind. You guys created the fucking map. And it's because it's like, with the map, you're unstoppable. With the directions, you could get there or you couldn't. It's still a wash, right? It's still up in the air. But with the map, with the vision, writing down, even if you're like, okay, I want to be a successful whatever, write that down. I am a successful this. Not I want to be. I am a successful this. This is the vision. Therefore, you don't want to write it in the present. This is the vision. I am a successful, for me, for example, just like the, they brought it back. Just like the almonds, right? I'm finding them in my household. Pay attention to the energies within themselves. The fact that I'm finding them in my household rather than outside somewhere is also revealing to the fact that I'm seeing myself as a entrepreneur starting a home business, right? I own a home business. I own a successful home business, right? For example, that's why I'm finding them in my household. Then I dig deeper into the information that I'm finding within my household that tells me what's happening in my household. It's a difference in finding almonds outside. This outside, ooh, they're telling me outside is it's like this energy of when you're finding them outside, it's what's happening in your life. External to you, things like that, right? People, places, things. The success of your endeavors on an external level, right? When you're finding them internally, inside the house, it's what's happening inside the project, the foundations of the project, right? And for me, it's even more specific because my platform is starting from the house, right? Eventually, I get to the place where it's not a home business, it's a business. Right? See the vision. I own a successful home business. I own a successful business. I own a successful international business. You feel what I'm saying? It's the vision. How you tweak the initial vision moving forward. Remember, the first page starts with the vision. As you turn the page, you can go in depth in the vision as wisdom and knowledge is provided for you. You don't sit down and create the whole plan. No, you sit down and create the vision and the plan executes itself, right? Success is a journey, not a destination. Oh, I'm loving this. Keep it going, divine. 26:26 on the clock. When it comes to the vision, don't get ahead of yourself, right? It ties us right back into how we opened it with procrastination. All the little bullshit, the little lefts and rights, like we said on the map. You get the initial map going. Okay, this is the initial directions. You got to go here, here, and here to get there. Okay, now this is the streets that you have to actually take. Okay, now this is the names of the streets, right? Things like that. This is the different obstacles. This is the constructions that's happening on this street. So now we're going to have to tweak that, right? You see how it unfolds itself when you trust the fucking process. Oh, I'm loving this video, y'all. Cliffhanger. I need a beverage. I ain't going to lie to you. I need a beverage. I got a little coffee right here on the warmer. Let me take a sip. Hold on. It sure feel nice, yeah. I'm sharing that delight with y'all. I'm sorry y'all couldn't sip it with me for those of you who like coffee the way I like it. Let's see, is there anything else we talking about here? Last thing, we're gonna close it out. They bringing me back. Oh, they be tying shit in. You guys, triggers, happy triggers, important triggers, significant triggers that are aligned with the vision, the goal, the purpose, the missions that lead you to your overall purpose fulfilled, right? It's never about the battle, it's always about the war. The war is never complete until you drop the vessel. So why the fuck are you trying to beat the war in your present when you know the war ain't over until you drop the vessel? Because the war is not yours. It ain't yours. You can't stop it. You just control the battles. What's the battles? Fulfilling your many missions in life. Your many missions ultimately fulfills your purpose. Your purpose ultimately fulfills your battles. This battle is not mine, says the divine. That's why you think we got so much angelic assistance. We got this. It's just everything is about recognition. You have to bring things into, it's the pairing that we keep talking about, right? Conscious, unconscious, right? Logic, wisdom, physical, spiritual. You have the vessel. You have the etheric body. Wow, bottle, not bottle. You have the vessel. You have the etheric body. Then you have the different layers of the etheric body. If we want to talk about mastery, it starts with the basics, right? It starts with the logic. Why? Let me take that back because I feel like some of y'all not going to understand what I'm saying with that. Yes, it starts with spirit. It starts intuition. Everything starts with inspiration, being led in a direction, right? The soul is always leading you in a direction, right? So when you're intuitively guided, you have spirit. Then you have logic, learning all you can know about it. Then you have pairing that with wisdom. Intuition and wisdom is different. You can compare intuition to being page to a king, right? Intuition is the page. Information. Another thing y'all don't know is oftentimes I get channel upgrades in card interpretations. And then one of the newer interpretations, they're wanting me to read the page is the plan, right? The page has the plan. The knight has the vision. The queens have the action. And the kings have the success, right? But we know it doesn't stop with success. Success is a journey, not a destination. So we go from the kings into the major arcanas, right? Everything is fucking connected. Y'all understand? I wish I could just put my mind. I can't put my mind on here. This is why the divine gave me a platform. I love y'all. I'm going to put my mind on here more. And I know that my tribe will understand the way that I think. I was explaining to my family earlier, this is the last thing I'm going to say. You guys, we have to stop thinking from a perspective of trying to save the world from an over desire, right? We think that everybody wants so much because they want houses and cars and clothes and money. How do we stop people from wanting so much in life and just realize that the simple things matter more? What we don't realize oftentimes is that the simple things is the more. It's not simple at all. The simple things is the houses, the cars, the clothes, the shoes, the family, the wife, all that shit. That's the simple things. So it's not that we gotta stop. It's not that we gotta get people to stop wanting more. We gotta get people to stop wanting less. We gotta get people to stop wanting the simple shit. When you seek more, right? More wisdom, more understanding of how shit works, more connectedness with the universe, which is what? The divine, because everything is love. When you're seeking higher, that's when you're wanting more. So it's not getting the world to stop wanting more, it's getting the world to stop wanting less and to have more. Have more is to have more fulfillment, seeing the love in all of the things that are not, no such thing as things, right? It's a lot of wise people in the world. You just got to take note. You got to pair it with yourself, what resonates with yourself, what is the divine telling you is your truth. Every soul's origin is not the same. Like I told my family earlier, I'm not trying to just leave the wheel of karma and enter the wheel of grace. You know what I mean? When I say that, guys, what I mean is I'm not just trying to leave my karma behind here. I'm trying to leave this physical experience altogether. I'm not talking about dying here. Obviously, I'm going to live my full life. I know that. That's deep in my soul, right? 33 on the clock. I'm talking about I wish we was live so y'all can keep my mind on track. Thank you, they brought it back. Y'all helpful. Like I told my family earlier, when I say exit the wheel of karma, I'm talking about exiting the wheel of having this physical experience, being tied to my bloodline. Like I told them, when I started this journey, I wasn't just focused on gaining success on a worldly perspective. You know what I mean? I understood that I had to clear my generation's bloodline. I had to really start from the root. There is no instant gratification unless you're creating contracts. Like I told my family from the beginning, I'm destroying contracts, not creating them. So I had to start from the bottom And it's going to be fucking hard, and it was. The things that are most valued came from the things that were hard to obtain, and that's the fucking truth. Nobody want nothing that's easy, even in love. You hear me? But like I'm telling y'all, and this is just my personal, right? But I love y'all, so we getting personal. I had to clear generational shit. I had to clear things within the bloodline. I had to clear attachments. I had to clear curses. You know what I mean? What's a curse? A curse is only a vibration that's so embedded in the bloodline that it became an actual thing. Somebody said or did something to you that you took on, or your ancestors took on so strongly that it became a part of your bloodline. That's why a curse worked. Not because somebody did it, but because your bloodline believed it. You know, they brought me to a page in the Bible, and I read the whole page, and it was like, it was essentially talking about how, I'm going to put it simple, a group of people were just getting shunned and put down and in fear of their life, and literally had a bounty on their head and shit. And they was just not understanding, like, we've been so faithful and humble. And like I read at a different time in the Bible, it says the children of the wicked will suffer, meaning you fuck up your bloodline when you do wicked things. Not your life, your bloodline, right? So a lot of us, and I feel this is collectively for a lot of us, we had to clear bloodline shit. We had to remove the vibrational pattern and plugging of what was perceivably a curse, right? Because we have to always title shit, right? What we did was had to extract the fucked up shit in our bloodline. So that took getting to the gritty nitty, right? Not only ourselves, but our fucking bloodline. We had to take on a spiritual battle. This is the part of the reason why we was getting all them channels of extra assistance going towards your purpose, right? Because we had to clear generational shit. You hear me? So when it came to clearing shit that you didn't do, back to the Bible, they was talking about how we getting shunned and we've been so faithful and all this shit, and it basically was revealed to them, you know, your ancestors did fucked up shit, but what you're doing is clearing the suffering of your bloodline to revitalize it. But I've gone a step further in my understanding of this shit, because I realized after I clear my family's bloodline, I still have to detach myself. Listen close, y'all. I still have to detach myself to the future outcome of my bloodline if I still want my soul to ascend past my karmic attachments to the resonating souls. It's not just clearing the karmic in your experience. It's clearing the karma in your experience, clearing the karma in your bloodline, clearing your attachment to your bloodline as a whole. Ultimately, we want to return back to source, not just return back to different experiences. We want to go beyond experience and go to the actual source, not just the experience of other gods, right? But source. I told you before, there's many gods in this world, but there's one source, right? We don't want to be under the guise of any gods. We want to be under the guise of source. So like I told my family, I'm clearing the bloodline for us now and for generations to come. But what they do after me, I detach myself from. If they fuck it up again, somebody else got to fix it. Because I'm going to ascend beyond my karmic attachment to the bloodline as well. I want to return my soul back to source. Right? Not just further experience. We have to experience all these different ways of experience in order to get back to source. Know your battle, not just the war, not just the battles, right? Know the war here. I realize we're still in a fucking bubble when we say we want to go explore other dimensions. Other dimensions is cool, but after I'm done with all these other dimensions, other planets, and we got to remember when it comes to these other planets and dimensions and shit, we got to remember, again, there's other gods in this universe. We live in a free will. We got free will. You know how grateful we need to be for free will and souls out here that's under the authority of other gods on these other planets and dimensions who don't have free will. You know what I mean? Yeah, we go through some fucked up shit, but my nigga, we got free will. Okay? I'm trying to go back to source, baby. I'm not trying to keep experiencing karmic shit, not on an experience level or on a bloodline level or a conscious level. You know what I mean? I want to return back to love, the highest vibration of all. I'm not fearful of other experience, because again, the opposite of love is fear. So if you still in fear, you're going to go on. Even when you drop this vessel, you're going to go on to have a different experience under the same vibration of fear, meaning you may go to another planet where you don't have free will. Why? Because you're fearful of free will. You're fearful of doing what the fuck you want to do. As long as you're fearful of doing what the fuck you want to do, you're going to be under the control of a God, because the source gave you free will. I'm going to close it out here. Back to what I lost my thought on before. They done brought me every thought right back at perfect divine timing. If you're in a meditative state, or you're praying, or you're talking to the divine, or who you perceive to be the divine, and you have an uncomfortable feeling, you have a feeling of being superior, inferior. If you have a feeling of being inferior, then you're under the guise of a God and not source. Source is love. Source is your authenticity. When you're talking to the divine, you should be in your most authentic state of being. You should have no fears, no worries, no concerns. Lay your problems at my feet and they will be transmuted, is what I hear. If you can't lay them problems down and walk away completely washed clean, and you talking to the wrong motherfucking individuals, the wrong levels of consciousness here. I love y'all. We got to begin to really ascend past fear. People don't want to think beyond, oh, when I die, I'm going to go to heaven. They tell you that in church, but church is one of the people that's under rules. When you die, you go where your soul vibrationally aligns to. And if it's not aligned with source, you're going where you're aligned to, period. That's not to make nobody scared, because again, we're removing fear. Fearless is how you break through of any contracts, any curses, any fucking thing is broken by love. Did you hear me say the highest vibration of all? Nobody has to, you don't have to pay nobody. This is my last example, y'all. This is serious. This is really what happened to me, y'all. Oh, they making me be personal. It's a priest in Nigeria I was in communication with that helped me through clearing a lot of my shit, right? But not too long ago, I kept having this feeling. I was always looking over my shoulder. Like I tell y'all, I take my walks to get connected with the divine. I kept feeling this presence around me that wasn't good. Long story short, the priest from Nigeria told me that it was a negative energy around me, a negative entity around me, that somebody, long story short, he tried to sell me on the thing, the whole, it doesn't want you to see 2020. We need to take care of this. And I locked my phone screen, turned my phone down, all that shit, and I went within myself and went to source, and I don't fear shit. Like I told you, I don't fear a motherfucking thing. Whatever the fuck, it could be anything standing next to me, bitch. I don't fear you. Trust me. You here because you want me to fear you, so you could tap into my energy. If no, fuck you, right? Like I told the priest, I'm not gonna externalize my protection. I immediately felt the presence removed when I realized that my protection is from within. I have to go within to get to source, because source put itself within me when I was created. My soul is source. All things created in love, all things are one. My soul is source. So if it's anything that need to be transmuted, anything that's vibrationally or anything formed against me, I give it to source, essentially. I don't need to pay nobody to do nothing. I don't need nothing to nothing. At the end of the day, I take back my power. And I welcome in the assistance of my divine team and source. Therefore, nothing stand against me can prosper. I'm fearless because I know the art of fearless. I love y'all. More cliffhangers to come. I just love y'all so much. Support each other. Support the channel, guys. We're a community. We're a family. I love y'all.